My name is Jason Charles. I'm 40 years old. I'm a firefighter in New York City. I am the organizer of NYC Preppers Network. I am also a prepper myself. I've been prepping for 7 years now. This was just put here so the dog doesn't lay on the couch. Not that putting dirty camping gear makes it any better.
If you were to put it simply, what are you prepping for?
I'm prepping for everything. Right, so it's not one thing anymore. Financial crisis, hurricane, tornadoes, bad winter storms, So these are things that we get struck with all the time. The alien invasion gonna take us out? No. A zombie's gonna rise up out of the ground and no. That's real, that's fantasy. That's people want to happen. Is a nuclear bomb gonna go off in one of the cities? More likely. That's how you navigate it. You try to stay within a realm of reality. The most likely scenario would probably be like a pandemic. Complete collapse of civilization. Cold War was the reason why people started prepping. What if they drop a bomb? What if they do this? What if they cut off a food supply? Well, guys started prepping. It became an American thing. So this closet right here is what I refer to jokingly as the end of the world closet. Jokingly. So we have vitamins and some medical supplies here. A little hatchet here. We have a two-way radio here.
What's the most important thing in here?
The water. Everything else is just, food is important. The MREs in the back.
MREs?
Yeah, meals ready to eat. Right, so we have freeze-dried food up here. We have beans, we have rice. We have a lot of that. The food will last us probably 9 months. Well, other than that, the Christmas stuff, that is not prepper stuff. It's just somewhere to store it. I got there before the towers collapsed. Getting down there and thinking that I was going to help out, it didn't turn out that way, right? Because then the buildings came down and it all went to shit. When it all went down, you were focused on your job to help people and see what needed to be done and where you could be of most use. I was standing in front of Tower 1 and Tower 2 went down. Being where I was 100% sure I was dead, and then the building just came straight down instead of leaning over. Had the building tilted over, I'd have been toast. Everybody there would have been toast. Right before I took off running, I watched 5 guys die. And then I remember that breaking my trance, and then I took off and ran. All the supplies and equipment I bought over the years, I think I spent probably over 10 grand. The bug out bag or bailout kit, whatever, like many names for it, started in the military with fighter pilots. If the plane was still intact or helicopter was still intact, they'd have a compartment where they had like this emergency gear. The main is the food, right? Freeze-dried, tuna, and here's the most important thing you need to have, first aid kit, right? Multi-tool, knives, 2 of them. This is a carpenter's axe, and it's sharp. It's also light. It's almost a tad bigger than a hatchet, but too small to be a full-size axe. And my son would carry this, just because he could. Not saying he would use it, because he can't swing it yet. I don't think he can.
How old is your son?
He's 9.
Yeah. And I take it the swords wouldn't be taken with you?
No, not unless there's zombies outside. I do have specific bug-out plans for specific bug-out scenarios. Nuclear warhead goes off, we'd stay in the home to see where the fallout goes. And if an EMP goes off, we strap on our hiking shoes and we start walking out of here. The NYC Preppers Network group is a meetup group where preppers talk about different things, like how to build a bug out bag, how to make laundry detergent, how to make deodorant, toothpaste, natural things like that, how to read maps, how to read compasses. Anything prepping touches, we touch on. Today we're going to have a bunch of events. So we're going to do fire safety, knife safety, how to winterize your bug out bags, stew making.
My name is Marlon. I've been prepping probably for about 15 years. You go to Manhattan in New York, there's 8 million. Where do you put 8 million people in a disaster? So you have to sort of fend for yourself. And to fend for yourself, you've got to learn these things. 9/11 taught us that. Hurricane Katrina taught us that. There's no cavalry coming.
Yes, I do.
I run a women's fashion company. That and this don't rhyme at all, but that's what I do. So you have to have that balance in your life. And a lot of people don't see prepping as that. They see prepping as, you know, people who are nuts.
Woo! Nice work. Yay!
Pound the sticks up top. Get the sticks up top. Get them up top. Don't wait.
People have gotten a little lax, a little lazy when it comes to their own survival. They do depend on other people, government, the police, this and that, to be their constant protectors. But when it comes down to it, you are your own guardian, your own survivor, your family's protector.
I was at the Barcelona attacks. I've been like witness to some of the things that have happened in New York City and elsewhere, earthquakes in Mexico. And I think that when you live those things, you start thinking to yourself, I've already experienced this.
Makes it real.
Right, it makes it very real.
Carbon is good. Where they're made is even better. So this is a Swedish knife, right? This is a very good knife. Always short strokes and controlled strokes. Femoral arteries here. That takes you seconds to bleed out before you're dead. Even at home, even if there's nobody home but you put it back in the sheet. People who don't prep, they're naive. They just think that help's always going to be there. Sucks to be you if you think like that. Should something happen, I'm ready to rock and roll, whether it's to stay here or leave. It's like having insurance. You buy insurance for a lot of shit, you don't use it half the time. But we still have it just in case you drop your camera, you drop your phone in the toilet, right? It might not never happen, but you still have insurance on it. Society is definitely getting worse. If you look at history and you look at all the wars we've been in as humans, it's never really been a stable place, man. I hate the city. It's not this living on top of each other, and when I go out my house, my neighbor's like right next to me. In the city, it sucks. It's crowded. It's enough. There's too many hipsters. There's liberals. I want to go somewhere where those people are scared of the outdoors. That's where I want to live. Eventually, it would be nice to just be completely reliant on your own. The downside of living off the grid is you're by yourself. And I think that people need one another to survive.